Today I would like to share with you Sarah's story. Sarah currently lives in Kenya, Africa, and is just shy of 14 years of age. Your 14th birthday should be a time of celebration, right? Unfortunately, this is not the case for Sarah. Instead of candles on a cake, this means instead she is on the brink of adulthood, because when she turns 14, it means that she is now eligible to marry. Child marriage is a reality for millions of girls across Africa. Sarah is dreading the day's arrival, as it means for her that she must marry a man in her village so that she can carry water for him and his children. The man has lost his wife to cholera last year. Cholera is a sickness that is caught by drinking dirty, contaminated water. According to the 2011 Thematic Report on Drinking Water, on any given day, more than 50% of hospital beds in sub-Saharan Africa are filled with water or hygiene-related illnesses. According to the World Health Organization and the developing world today, poor access to safe water and adequate sanitation continues to be a threat to human health. Approximately 3.5 million people die each year due to inadequate access to clean water and sanitation. 90% of these are children under the age of 5. Before the man's wife's death, it was her responsibility to carry the water for her family. This burden must now be passed on to another eligible female in this village. Sarah is that so-called lucky one. Sarah, though, has no real desire to marry this man or take care of his children. She wishes instead that she could stop the sun in its place to ensure that she will never see her 14th birthday arrive. In the village Sarah lives in, the oldest girls in the family are water carriers. In order to get to fresh water sources, girls like Sarah must walk nearly an hour to get to the nearest river. Any water the family needs to drink, bathe, clean dishes, cook with, or wash clothing must be carried back by these females. Being the young girl that Sarah is, she is only able to carry around 50 pounds of water back at once. This means that she must make between 2 to 3 trips daily. Some older women who are much stronger, such as Sarah's mother, are able at times to carry around 80 pounds in the containers that she ties onto her back. On average, Sarah will spend 4 to 6 hours each day carrying water. In sub-Saharan Africa, 68% of the rural population spends more than 1 hour per trip of water collection. This means that sometimes girls or women lose up to 6 hours daily collecting insufficient contaminated water. That amounts to 40 billion hours spent walking every year for water in Africa alone. That in turn leads to the loss of opportunity for girls to attend school. In some third world nations, only 50% of girls are enrolled in school due to the lack of toilets. This also limits the availability of women to grow food or work a job to assist their family. If women could spend less time collecting water and instead increase the yields of their family farms between 20 to 30%, it would lift 150 million people out of hunger each year. Throughout Africa and the Third World, each day, millions are forced to collect water from drains, ditches, and streams, which in turn leads them to suffer a deprivation that threatens life, destroys opportunity, and human dignity. Some 1.1 billion people in developing countries have inadequate access to water, and 2.6 billion people lack basic sanitation. The most devastating part of this story is the fact that Sarah will now have to quit school. She loves school too. She enjoys art and reading. She really loves to read about her country and is the best reader in her class. She believes that Africa is a beautiful place with strong and determined people. She desires nothing more than to be able to stay in school to learn about her country, other tribal people throughout Africa, and hopes to be able to visit the places she reads about. She holds on to this hope as her birthday fast approaches. Her cousin has told her about this pipe he saw when he visited another village with his mother. He explained to Sarah that when you pump the handle up and down, clean water streams out of it. Sarah finds this hard to believe, as she has never seen or even heard of such a thing. But she later overheard her mother and father speak of it, and she knew that what her cousin had said had to be true. Sarah's story, although fictionalized, is based in truth on the reality of many real-life situations that happen daily in Kenya and other third-world countries throughout the world that do not have access to clean water. Of all the places in the world, the African continent faces the greatest challenge of any region of the world, with roughly 1 in 3 people not using a clean water source. Most of us listening to this story can simply turn on a tap and clean water pours out for whatever use we desire. But many people throughout the world have never even seen a water faucet. They think it's something out of a fairy tale. Many organizations, such as the Clean Water Project, are working hard to change this. Water projects relieve suffering, open doors to education, stimulate economic development, and most importantly, introduce a true and lasting hope. They are bringing water into villages like Sarah's and changing people's lives through this simple act. You can be part of this solution by visiting thewaterproject.org and making a donation today. Together we can make a difference, one drop at a time.